Hey, what's up, guys? Back with another video, and this is just some quick news on the Steam Deck. Came out a few days ago, but Valve is saying that they're working with AMD to get the Steam Deck Windows 11 ready. Kind of think this is interesting. Valve has been focused on Windows support. It says Valve is aiming to make its Steam Deck handheld gaming PC ready for Windows 11. We've known for weeks the Steam Deck can run Windows. It wasn't clear how well this would be supported by Valve or whether an option for a TPM trusted platform modules would be enabled to get Windows 11 on the Steam Deck. So if you guys don't know, with TPM, you need a trusted platform module on your motherboard to actually run Windows 11. And if you don't have a TPM chip, you can actually buy a TPM chip and plug it into your motherboard, and you can get Windows 11 to work on older hardware. But whatever platform you're going to have Windows 11 on, you need to have a TPM chip either on the motherboard, or you need to buy one that you then plug into your motherboard. So this is kind of interesting that they're actually going, seems like they're telling people, yeah, it's going to be Windows 11 capable, and I guess somewhere on the board there's going to be a TPM chip because that is a strict requirement of Windows 11. Microsoft hasn't backed down from that. So interesting though that Valve is going to go out of their way to actually get Windows 11 compatible with the Steam Deck. It's kind of interesting, just because you would think if they were super confident in what they're doing on Arch Linux with SteamOS, that they wouldn't do that. Like, if I were really confident in what I built on Arch Linux to run Windows games, I wouldn't include a TPM module, but they are including a TPM module, so it is Windows 11 compatible. So they're not confident enough to not support Windows 11. And I do think that Windows 11 it's probably going to run pretty well on the Steam Deck. It's probably a valid use case, just for some people who do prefer Windows for whatever reason. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. I mean, yeah, you can play Apex Legends, Destiny 2, PUBG, Fortnite, Gears 5, because the anti-cheat isn't supported right now, but they are working on getting the anti-cheat working in these games. So if people want to play Apex Legends day one, they're gonna have to put Windows 10 or Windows 11 on their Steam Deck to be able to play it in portable mode like that. So that is a use case where somebody's a huge PUBG player or a Fortnite player, and they really like Fortnite, but they want it in a portable experience, and there's already cross-platform play with Fortnite. There's already people playing with controllers in PC, mouse and keyboard on PC. So maybe there are people who do want to play with a controller. They want to play on Steam Deck, and they want to play with other people, cross-platform. So yeah, I do think it makes sense that they do put Windows 11 support on there. Also, at the same time, it does seem like they're not that confident. Potentially, you could spin it that way, that they're not confident that their OS, SteamOS, is something that is going to be so good that everybody would just not want to put Windows on their device. Because if you look at Google when they made Chromebooks, you get a Chromebook, but you really got to go through hoops to hack it and put another OS on it. And Valve is pretty open, and they're supporting these other OSs, but I don't know. You can kind of see that, yeah, they do think that that window, it is necessary for whatever reason to fully support Windows on the Steam Deck. Yeah, you could slice it any other way. But yeah, that's just my feelings, my opinions on it. Next up in the news, there's the Aya Neo. Says it's almost double the cost of the Steam Deck. And so it's going to have a Ryzen 7 4800U, which is an 8-core, 16-thread processor. So it's going to be for $1,215, so $1,215, and it's going to ship in September. But if we compare that to the Steam Deck, it's doubling the cores, it's doubling the threads from 4 cores, 8 threads to 8 cores, 16 threads in this Aya Neo Pro. So you are getting double the cores, which is pretty good. The regular Aya Neo is 4-core, 6-thread, and it's presumed that this 4500 APU is actually going to perform worse than the Steam Deck. So it's interesting. So their lower end performs worse potentially, or about the same as the Steam Deck. And then they have their higher end, which costs twice as much and has twice the cores and twice the threads. It's interesting. I do wonder what this 8-core, 16-thread APU is going to be, because it's going to be 1.8 to 4.2 gigahertz. If we look at the Steam Deck, it's 2.4 to 3.5 gigahertz. It's going to be really interesting. It looks like with the 4800U is a bunch of just really small cores and low frequency, so a lot of things aren't really that multi-threaded, and I guess boosting to 4.2, some of the cores, maybe they can, outperform the Steam Deck, because some things are only 2 or 3 or 4 or 6 threads, so we'll see how much better this actually is. Is it going to be $1,215 or $1,215? Is it going to be worth this $1,215 versus the Steam Deck? Coming in, the base model's $400, and then you got you stack up to $650 or $649. $649 on your highest end one, if I got that correct. Yeah, $649 on the highest end. So how's it really going to stack up? That's going to be pretty interesting to me. Just because the handheld space, this actually does run Windows. So this is the alternative approach to what Valve is doing. They're just sticking Windows on it, and it's basically Windows with D-pad, thumbsticks, and face buttons. So yeah, it's kind of a competitor to the Steam Deck, but they seem to not be able to get the price as low. Aya Neo Retro has 1 terabyte and it's $1,315. Yeah, the Aya Neo, they're just a much smaller company. They had an Indiegogo, and yeah, I just think they can't really do it at scale, and they're probably trying to make money off of the hardware, which is what you want to do. But they have Steam, which probably they're competing against Steam/Valve, and they probably don't care if they make money on the Steam Deck. So a lot of times companies, they don't care that it's $400. They might be losing $50 or $100 on the unit, but they don't care because they're actually Steam or Valve. If they sell like 3 or 4 games that are $60 each, that's an extra $250 that just went into Valve's pocket. So I think that that's why Valve can price these things so aggressively, and they don't care if they make money on it. We'll probably find out later if they are making money or if they are losing money. a lot of people do the component cost analysis of what the bare components cost, and a lot of times that's pretty interesting. So definitely we'll make a video on that if they do figure out how much all the individual components would cost. They've done this with iPhones. It's generally like 200 or 290 or 300 bucks just in parts, but then they sell the phone for like 700 bucks. And same with Android phones, it's like 300 or 400 bucks to make the phone, but then they sell it for 900 bucks or 800 bucks or 700. So a lot of sometimes there's huge margin in products. It does seem like there's not a whole lot of margin potentially in the Steam Deck, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that was it, guys. I hope you enjoyed. See ya.